Welcome back to the Low Country View of Hilton Head. My name is Earl Yates. I'm your host. My second guest is going to be Chip Collins from Collins Group Realty. Chip's been here for a long time, and he's made a name for himself. And not only has he made a name for himself, but I'll be the first to pat him on the back and say he's been voted both in the Island Packet and Hilton Head Monthly as the island's best and favorite realty company, and he's the lead of it. So without further ado, Chip, how we doing, sir?
I'm so glad to be here. Good to see you, Earl.
We can work backwards.
Okay.
So we'll start with now. You have your prize. You got two plaques in front of you now.
Yeah.
You're the favorite realtor. Obviously, realty makes Hilton Head. Of course.
Yeah, sure enough.
Right there with golf and tennis, you have realty.
Tourism.
Of course,
yeah.
Everyone has to live, so you're the man to supply them with the place they want.
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
Well, I tell you, that award is really more about my company and my team, to be honest. I mean, I'm a humble guy, right? So I'm not going to take all the credit. I've got this incredible team of professionals that are passionate about what they do, and it's just we've had a good run of luck and a function of and a success of hard work that we've been at. So it's that's a really neat acknowledgement of that within the community. So we're really proud of it.
Well, of course, that's luck carries you but so far.
Yeah.
I mean, but you've worked hard.
We have.
I can remember being a kid at the rec center. And when you first came to the island, you started off, still very humble and loving life and appreciating Hilton Head. But it's been some time. I mean, now you're the family man and carrying the same load you carry, and you guys are enjoying yourself.
Yes.
How does Hilton Head work for you?
It's been amazing. I tell you, I'm a small town guy. I'm from Ohio, and so that's where I grew up. A lot of folks grew up in Ohio and ended up down here, and I came here by way of D.C., so I spent 3 summers in D.C. Actually, one of those was as a White House intern, believe it or not. And then I spent a whole year out of college in D.C., and I just realized D.C. was too transient, too busy, too big, too populous for me, and I needed to get back to a small town culture. So I came to Hilton Head in '92, and that's when I met you. That was at Island Recreation Center was where I met all my first friends on the island. And I actually picked up my first job, which was part of a small contracting company. A guy named Steve Desimone had Desimone Construction, and he said, "Yeah, I'll take you on as a laborer." And so I was digging ditches and doing all that, and that's really what it's all about for me. I mean, that's what Hilton Head's about. It's about opportunities. It's about being real. It's about being down to earth. It's about meeting great people, and it's just been a wonderful place. At that time, we had a lot of friends that said, "I'll be a swim coach, or I'll work at the rec center as a summer intern, or I'll do food and beverage for a period of time, but I'm going to go get real in Atlanta or Birmingham or some other city where you're supposed to go, raise your family and all that good stuff." And Carrie and I stuck it out. We said, "No, we're staying here." And that was, that was, as I said, back in '92. We've got 2 young daughters that we love raising here, and they're in an idyllic school environment at the Sea Ponds Montessori Academy. So it's perfect for us. I mean, it's just been a dream come true, honestly.
Okay, but the great thing is what Hilton Head offers. I mean, you started off by saying your first job, you had a shovel in your hand, you're digging, you're going for it, and just looking to live.
Yeah.
And years later, here you are in a very, very successful realty company. Now, how did you get to real estate?
So I realized after a period of time of digging ditches and getting back to earth, literally and figuratively, I needed to get maybe into more of a professional job that was more suited to my background and my college education. So I was like, I got into property management. Worked with a guy named Ed McCullough, who you know, right? And so Ed hired me on to his company, was New Leaf Management back then, and I spent 4 years in regime property management, managing POAs of condos and villas throughout the island. And that was a good entree for real estate and a good entree for me to get to know people. And after about 4 years of that, almost exactly, I said, I think I'd like to do something different. And I got my broker's license at that time, and got started in real estate back in very first part of '97.
So once you got into the real estate market, who did you work for? Who did you start with as far as company?
Yeah, so Paul Frank Sr., who a lot of viewers may know that name, he hired me on. He was the broker in charge at Sea Pines Real Estate Company back then, and That was the original real estate company on the island, certainly the most successful at that time. And I had a nice run with them for about 4 years, and then it was time. I partnered up with a gentleman, and we started our own real estate company. Back then, that was called Mayor Collins Real Estate Team, and gosh, that was eight and a half years ago now that we started that up and went on our own. And I bought him out and changed the name to Collins Group Realty, and we've been cranking ever since.
Well, now that you had a successful business venture going on, you found out that, you know, I can do this by myself. I've learned enough.
Yeah.
It's time for me to go to the next level. How did you supply yourself with the right people? Because of course, like you gave credit to your group before yourself, which,
Yeah.
I mean, you can stand but so tall by yourself. You have to have some people behind you that's pretty
it.
strong.
Yeah.
How was the process as far as finding good help? Did you go through other real estate companies, or was it just a matter of though people found out who you were as a person and came to you?
It was the latter. You know, I'm not a big recruiter. I'm a believer that the right people will find me at the right time, and they're not always all the right people, but just about every instance they have been. And so I'm always looking for people to approach me. I think they need to want to be part of our organization. And everybody to date has. You know, I've just been going through these one-on-one interviews with my entire team, which is about 17 people now, and we're all sitting down and talking one-on-one about core values. What do you stand for? Why are you in this business? Why are you passionate about it, etc.? And it's just amazing to sit down as an employer and hear, and so rewarding that everybody is all about the client first. They're all about service before compensation. They're all about doing the right thing, being professionals, being passionate about it, etc. So I've just been really fortunate, honestly, to attract some really, really quality individuals. And so I'm open. I'm always open for those opportunities, but I'm not big on reaching out or putting an ad in the paper or online or reaching out into other brokerage firms and trying to quote unquote steal other agents. That's not my style.
Well, now you go through a point where, you know, the economy is not the greatest right now.
Yes.
And most people are searching for necessity rather than splurging and going for, you know, the dream, because future is not so far away anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
How have you managed to really stay in the groove, in the top of your game with what's been going on?
Yeah, well, there's really probably two components of that. One is, it's all about marketing and internet positioning. To be honest, we have really embraced technology, and that has helped us attract the necessary number of clientele that has helped us. In fact, I was just looking at stats, because here we are at the year end, and we've already doubled the number of transactions that we did last year. So some of that is luck, but some of that, as you said, is fortune. It's hard work, making some good, right decisions, etc. So we're blessed by that. The other is about having the resources to follow up with those folks and make them feel like they've found the right resource. So it's really, that's been a big component of it. And again, having a team that's passionate about what we do, and they wake up every day and they want to make a difference. And that team environment, that's the other thing about these one-on-one interviews I've had. Everybody embraces this culture of being cooperative. You know, real estate's very competitive. You and I were chatting before we started here about it. It's very competitive. You got 1,200 agents in the marketplace. These guys, they all love the fact they come and they're part of a bona fide team, that they support each other. So if one has a sale, the other doesn't, there's still celebration, there's still energy and momentum.
Well, I guess all that makes perfect sense with the fact that I came to you, you know, not too long ago, less than a week ago, and of course I was in a venture of trying to feed 600 plus Marines and their families.
Very cool.
And without question, you helped, and that goes far beyond, you know, the gracious of anything I can think of, because when you're ready to actually stick a hand out to help someone up in any situation, that says how special it is. So of course you're going to surround yourself with good people, like the people you have in your office.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. It's great for me to be an island native and see a lot of people like yourself come to the island and actually embrace it and love it and see it for what it is and promote it for that matter. Of course, there's a business aspect to it, because we all need finance. But it's important to see that, I mean, you care about it just as much as I do.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why your business is the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, it's been a pleasure. I thank you even more for accepting my invitation to come visit,
glad
because
to
it's a
be here.
pleasure
Yeah, thank
for
you.
us, more than anything, to sit down and have a seat and talk and make a conversation.
It's my pleasure to reconnect with you, my man.
Absolutely. Chip, thanks for your time. And once again, congratulations on your awards, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, this has been Low Country View of Hilton Head. I'm your host, Earl Yates. Of course, my guest has been Chip Collins from Collins Group Realty. You have a great night, and I'll see you very soon.